Sponsored by Teamsters Local 1932. Protecting the future of working families. Teamsters 1932.org.
Working in the margins. Dealing with our challenges, assessing needs, and finding solutions. Short-term, mid-range, and long-term. Solutions can find us working in the margins. Today's world is a tough baseline. It's more difficult than ever to just exist or get by. And it's not getting any easier. Moving forward in today's world has become both an art and a science. Food, clothing, temporary shelter, long-term housing, short-term jobs, temporary employment, or long-range careers. It all takes some help and finesse. Not everyone can do it. It's an art and a science. And let's face it, not everyone is a scientist. Some people need more help than others. The basics like reliable transportation, internet, laundry, a regular shower, even water. Those basics we all take for granted. Electricity. These are the challenges of those caught in the net. Are homeless, unhoused, housing challenged, living in the margins. People of all ages, young, middle-aged, senior citizens, entire families, male, female, all reasons and all walks of life. Anyone can find themselves living in the margins. Homelessness and the challenges that go with it are not going away, and we can't ignore them. It's just too expensive. We've got to do better. Take the next step forward. Tune in now and listen to Working in the Margins with Zazetta Scott.
Good evening, Inland Empire. This is Shazette with Family Assistance Program, and you are listening to Working in the Margins. I will be creating a safe space for dialogue with some of our San Bernardino County community leaders about how to better serve our unhoused and marginalized citizens in this county. And I also will be giving weekly updates about community services and resources. So thank you for tuning in. This is United Against Hate Week, and it's from September 21st through the 27th. And what it's about is it calls for local civic action to stop the hate and implicit biases that are a dangerous threat to the safety and civility of our neighborhoods, towns, and cities. United Against Hate Week emerged from a United Against Hate poster campaign created by Bay Area cities in response to white supremacist rallies in Berkeley and San Francisco in 2017. The original 13 communities were convened in 2018 by Not in Our Town, a national anti-hate organization and partner in the LA versus Hate campaign, and committed to an annual week of action and awareness. Since its inception, United Against Hate Week has spread to over 200 communities, including all of Los Angeles County, faith-based groups, LGBTQ, and human rights organizations, and is beginning to take off throughout California and its communities across the United States. Tonight, I have a very special guest. He's a colleague and he's a friend. And I'm really excited to have him come on and talk about the program that Family Assistance has for Stop the Hate, their Stop the Hate project. Mr. Jim Bolus, he's the program manager at Family Assistance, and he manages the Stop the Hate program. Jim has been working in social justice, housing, and homelessness, and public health for almost 40 years. And I find that hard to believe, because if you know him and see him, you know he don't look a day over 40, so it's weird. He began doing outreach and counseling of homeless youth in Times Square in the 80s, which transitioned into training, policy development, and advocacy. Before he moved into California, he was the executive director of the Coalition for Homeless Youth in New York. After doing LGBTQ plus policy and training around homeless youth, Bo became the CPO at the Family Assistance Program here in San Bernardino. He oversees the professional development and training of our staff and measuring, and he helps us measure our outcomes and impacts of our services. Because of his background in program development, advocacy, policy, and coalition, he was tapped to oversee the development of our county-wide anti-LGBTQ plus BIPOC hate campaign focusing on youth and young adults. So I welcome Jim. Jim, are you there? You gonna pop on screen right now? Awesome. Okay.
Can you see me?
Not
Can you hear
yet.
me?
It's gonna happen. Eric is my
Okay.
engineer extraordinaire.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, so Eric is going to bring you up on screen in a sec. In this little meantime, I want to share some information that you shared with me, Jim. One is that hate crimes have risen in recent years, but the scapegoats vary with the political winds. Several experts, they met on Tuesday. I guess there was a panel discussion here recently, and some inland folks met on Tuesday to talk about this. And there's a Brian Levin he's the co-founder of the Cal State San Bernardino Center for Study of Hate and Extremism. And he says that hate crimes have gone up in every presidential election year. I see you, Jim. That made me so sad. But
Yeah.
I know, Jim, I shared, and you said it makes me mad, and I'm like, yeah, it makes me mad too. What's sad is that I think that it's unnecessary because
You're right.
there should not be violence in politics. There's no reason for it. It's
Yeah.
so for that to be a statistic that hate crimes go up in every presidential election year, and it doesn't pinpoint. Like if it's on what side or whose side, or it just says in the election year. So there's something, I think we sometimes find ourselves at odds about lots of things in an election year.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
kind of hurts my heart. But I think with advocates like you and programs like this, that we can tackle this and start to address this. So let's get into it. It's good to see you, sir. Thank you for
Me
coming
too.
on. I am so excited that we could finally do this. This week is really important, and there's an event on Saturday. There's a forum that we are a part of. Family Assistance is a part of. You are a part of, and some other leaders in the community that are addressing hate crimes here in our area. So let's get into it. So I want to ask you some questions. So tell me, I know that you were kind of tapped because you are just chock full of experience, and we always want the best, so, but tell me, because you didn't have to say yes. You could have said, no, that's not my jam. So you tell me why you decided to take this program on, why you decided to say yes to being the program manager.
Cool. I'm more than happy to. And first, let me say, Zazat, I am so honored to be on and so grateful. And, you are the perfect host with the most for this. So I think this is just the cat's meow for me to
Awesome.
sit here and talk with you
It
about
is the
this. And I hope that
cat's
I hope that we can make this more of a dialogue than you just asking me questions. So feel
I
free to,
That's what I tell
converse with me,
folks.
because
Yeah.
you and I, we talk well. We have a
Yes.
really good conversation.
Yes.
So I love that. And with this project, it's because I'm the chief program officer, and so I've got all of the projects that I'm sort of overseeing, supporting, with the client services and the outcomes and training staff and, making sure that, people are feeling supported and feeling
Yes.
that they can, do
Yes.
what they need to do in order to get stuff done.
Right.
And so when I was asked to oversee the project, I basically pivoted, because, and shifted a couple of projects to other staff, and basically took the ball and ran with my amazing team, Oscar
Right.
Lobos, who's a rock star, and Rudy
Absolutely.
Ponce, who is killing it in the high desert.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and you know, I did it really because social justice has been my life's work. You know, my
Right.
background's in education, and after teaching in New York for a year and a half, you know, at 23 in 1986, you already said it. I started working with HIV and AIDS,
Right.
and you know, prevention with homeless turned into prevention work with homeless youth on the street, which turned
Right.
into program development and
Right.
policy and
So it seemed
advocacy
like a
and
natural pivot.
lobbying. Sorry.
It seemed like a natural pivot.
It really was. You know, I did a
Mhm.
lot of, you know, I during that time I did a lot of work with ACT UP, you know, and when there
Mhm.
was an increase in New York with anti-violent or with anti-gay violence happening, you
Mm.
know, I joined up with Queer Nation and did, you
Mhm.
know, events. And then also my favorite was being on the Pink Patrol, which where we
Mhm.
basically patrolled the streets offering support and alert whistles, which
Right.
really sort of gave me my introduction to anti-violence work.
Right. That's, it's always good to have the right people in the right place because sometimes you need. I think it's okay that you are part of the community, the LGBTQ
Yeah.
community. I don't think you don't keep that a secret.
Never.
And that you are an advocate. And I feel that people need to, it's like having lived experience. We're really good at that at Family Assistance, having people
Yeah.
with lived experience fit into some of our projects and our roles. I want to ask you, um, tell me how Stop the Hate is working, like right now in San Bernardino County. Um, what do you what aspects of the program are going strong, need support? What
Hmm.
are we doing
Hmm.
right now in San Bernardino County with the program?
You know, so, you know, fighting hate, as you probably know, I'm sure you know, it's a multi-tiered process, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
Stop the Hate was really designed to address the emotional support needs of the individual who experienced victimization, you know, something that Family Assistance Program pretty much excels at.
Mm-hmm.
And also we also do preventive work
Yes.
with Stop the Hate around education and skill building with individuals. And
Right.
then, you know, in the case of our campaign's priority, you know, youth and young adults, and finally looking at policy development and advocacy around systemic change, you know, and
Right. Right.
that is the most difficult, often the most difficult, as no one not everyone accepts that there's a need because they don't see it
Right.
as a problem. You know, because for centuries, LGBTQ plus individuals, people of color, have been victimized and
Mm-hmm.
demonized by society on so many
Mm-hmm.
different levels, you know. And so a lot of the effective work that we're doing right now is definitely the service work because we
Mm-hmm.
integrated a lot of the service work that we wanted to provide for Stop the Hate into all of the services that Family Assistance Program already provides, from case management, system navigation,
Right. Victims of crime.
housing,
Right. Right.
all
Right.
of, you know, mentoring, all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also threw in their free access to free therapy
Oh wow.
for people who've been traumatized, you know. So
Wow.
that's been working really well. Also, the education piece really is our godsend in the high desert.
Yes, I'm gonna have Rudy
They've
on
based,
soon.
sorry,
I want people to meet Rudy. I'm gonna have Rudy on the show soon.
please,
Mm-hmm.
please
Yes.
sell
Yes.
her happiness.
Yes.
Um, they they're doing amazing groups in after
Mm-hmm.
school programs,
Mm-hmm.
like the drop-in center at Fam Spot in the
Yep.
high desert in Victorville.
Mm-hmm.
They're also doing a lot of in-school stuff, working
Yes.
with GSAs, Gay Straight Alliances,
Right.
and school groups.
Yep.
You know, so it's really been amazing to sort of see that happening. One of the next things is the policy stuff. So we're starting to, I'm trying to get in contact with the current leader of the Center on Hate and Extremism at
Mm-hmm.
San Bernardino CSUSB, um, Stephen Mueller, because they've been gathering information on different policies throughout the county on anti-hate policies. And so what we want to do is we want youth to sit and look at them and give their feedback on how that impacts them. So that's sort of like our next thing. And then the big thing is looking at building a coalition, which I'll talk about in a bit.
Right. I'm going to go to commercial real quick, but when we come back, that's what I want to talk about, the Human Rights Coalition and what we're trying to do here in San Bernardino. So hold on. Thank you. We'll be right back. We're going to commercial. Be right back.
One of the best ways to build a healthier local economy is by shopping locally. Teamster Advantage is a shop local program started by Teamster Local 1932 that has brought together
KCAA.
One of the by shopping locally. Teamster Advantage is a shop local program started by Teamster Local 1932 that has brought together hundreds of locally owned businesses to provide discounts for residents who make shopping locally their priority. Everything from restaurants like Corky's to fun times at SB Raceway and much, much more. If you're not currently a Teamster and you want access to these local business discounts, contact Jennifer at 909-889-8377, extension 224. Give her a call. That number again is 909-889-8377, extension 224.
This is KCAA.
Welcome back, San Bernardino. This is Shazette with Working in the Margins and Family Assistance Program. And I'm having a great conversation with Jim Bolus from Family Assistance Program. He is the program director of the Stop the Hate program with Family Assistance Program. We're going to pivot to the work that we are promoting and that you're promoting to start a human rights campaign coalition here in San Bernardino. We don't have one, do we?
There is a human relations commission of some sort. We've reached out to them but haven't heard any response. I'm not really sure. So, we were talking... Because there's another step, right? The policy piece is the third arm of our work, from direct service to prevention intervention. And then there's the policy, social, community piece. And, we start doing that, looking at the policy, the current policies that exist, looking at it with young people and getting their opinions. And then another piece of that is organizing community members around the issue of hate crimes, and not just LGBTQ plus, but all people who are affected, all the protected classes.
Exactly.
And so what we want to do is start the conversation this year towards the, we're getting into the end of our project. And start the conversation about creating a coalition, right? Not necessarily, because I don't think we have the juice to create a commission, a formal governmental commission, and then also it's left in the hands of the government, and the people don't always have an active say in that. So I was talking with Daryl Evie, our executive director, CEO, and we were sort of like hashing out the idea, and we basically both came up with the idea of maybe a coalition, right? Something that can provide service, whether it's training, whether it's information, education, whatever, but that can also be an advocate, that can also push for services, can also push governmental bodies to respond more effectively. And so that meeting we're planning, and it's going to be invitational because we don't want a huge bunch of people. We want just like a core, a core group, just so that we can get some working model or structure.
You have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. And it's always good to start with the folks that want to be there, and then we can go out and recruit folks that have interest in learning about it. I think it's really important that we do more communication throughout this county, but I think throughout the state, on coalition building.
Yeah.
Working on who can't get around human rights. I mean, we all have them.
I know.
You think it would be easy, but just as there are people who are fighting for human rights, there's, a whole half of a country that's fighting to take them away. So that's
Exactly.
that's our reality. We're not being fatalistic when we say that. That's
No,
our
I mean,
reality.
it is a reality. You're absolutely right. It is a reality, I mean, and it's interesting because this group that I'm working with, that's organizing these forums around the inland counties. It's called the Inland Counties Against Hate Coalition.
Right.
And it's basically a small group of us. And, they did a kickoff forum in Riverside. I want to say it was April. And then we're doing the next one in San Bernardino,
Right.
the city of San Bernardino, on Saturday from 1:30 to 4
Right.
at San Bernardino Valley College.
Right.
In room B100. So if
Yes.
you want to go, show
Yes.
up.
Yes, I'm going to announce that
There's
again.
going to be what's going to be great is there's going to be there's going to be a panel with the justice system, DOJ, the police, the DA, to sort of like talk their perspective. And then there's going to be a community panel, which I'm going to be on, along with NAACP and LULAC and SHERLA and a couple
Right.
other organizations. And what we're going to be doing is that we're going to basically be saying how do we get the police to do this, or how do we respond effectively? How do we work together, basically?
How do we
Because
work
that's one of the
together?
biggest problems with hate crime reporting is that people still don't feel confident that anything's going to get done. That's what
Exactly.
everyone always says to me when I ask them.
Right.
It's like, well, what are they going to do?
Right.
Or how
People
are
are
they, how are they going to
reluctant.
make anything happen?
People are
What?
reluctant to go to law enforcement because usually because of
History.
experience they've already had and they weren't listened to, or it didn't go
Yeah.
their way, or and so
Right.
it's hard for all victims of crime to even to have faith that their issue or their experience is going to be addressed to completion, where they have some type of satisfaction at the end.
Sure. And I'm not saying that all cops or all police
Oh,
are
no.
bad by any means.
No.
No, so many of them are so good and right on point and
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool and very helpful. But one bad apple,
Exactly.
and it sets off a bad reputation. And
Yeah.
we're just trying to get things back in functional order.
Right. I think our communication would be really more beneficial if we could come together, not as like law enforcement, nonprofits, social service
Yeah.
people, but as allies,
Yeah.
together to, nobody wants anybody to become a victim of crime. We don't,
Right.
that's, so instead of, having law enforcement on one side and, social service or nonprofit CBOs on the other, I think that it's just really beneficial if we could come together as allies, that.
Yeah.
So, Jim, I want to ask you, tell me what message do you have for the folks that come through Family Assistance Program, that are signed up and have to your Stop the Hate? What message do you have for them? Tell me what can they expect? How do we walk with them?
With someone who comes through
Looking for assistance
looking
through.
looking for assistance from Stop the Hate.
Yes.
Well, I mean, the first thing is, what happened? What do you tell me what happened? What do you need? What can we do for you? I mean, really, nothing's different than if they were to come through and they were needing housing or were, lost their job and, lost, everything that they needed, or,
Just help.
just help. That's what we do, you know, and that's why it's such a great pairing with family assistance, because we've got the help, we've got the foundation set, you know, and all we're doing is we're sliding in this piece, and we're tailoring and basically informing and educating all of our staff around diversity and around cultural humility, right? Not just cultural competence, but humility,
right?
You know, owning your crap, basically,
right.
You know, and integrating it into that program so that it just becomes a normal piece, but also highlighted for that individual to basically validate their trauma, validate that horrible situation.
Yeah, a safe place for them, a safe place. I think that's the most important thing that family assistance we do is we provide safe places. I have my welcome home shirt on today. This is my favorite T-shirt because that's what this agency means to me, is that we bring people into our housing who are, you know, might not otherwise have a chance. We have the only LGBTQ shelter in San Bernardino. And that's important. You know, not everybody's, you know, ready to throw open doors to accept people of marginalized communities, you know, so, but that's not our tenant here at Family Assistance Program.
And
Jim,
Caitlin rocks that place.
Caitlin, I've had Caitlin on and I've had Oscar on, and I'm just so proud of them and, you know, the work that we're continuing to do. And you are a great part of that because, you know, without great role models and leaders in our community like you, you know, our younger folks, you know, they can look at us and say, you know, hey, you know, these old heads, we old heads, you know, they know, you know, you know, they know how to keep us, you know, we're still training, we're mentoring, we're still willing to mentor, you know, and to learn, because we're still learning. I am going to shout out this event tomorrow again, Jim. Is San Bernardino Anti-Hate Forum.
Saturday, not tomorrow. It's Saturday.
Saturday. And it's the San Bernardino Anti-Hate Forum, and it's being put on by the Inland Counties Against Hate, IC Against Hate. And it's sponsored by wonderful organizations like LULAC, the NAACP, CHIRLA, the Civil Rights Institute of Inland Southern California, Family Assistance Program, the HCSB, and it's to talk about safe hate crime reporting and community resources. And I love on the flyer, it says, together we can build a safer, stronger, and more inclusive community. And that's Saturday, September 24th, 1:30 to 4 p.m., San Bernardino Valley College, room B100, right here in San Bernardino. So thank you so much for coming on and talking about our Stop the Hate program. I'm going to have you back on in the near future so that we could talk about housing, shared housing. Great. That's our,
please,
that's our jam.
That conference is the end of October, and I'd love to sell it. So
that's our jam. We, shared housing is the answer to a lot of things. Thank you for, sharing about this thoughtful and necessary program within our community. Thank you for everything that you do every day. And more importantly, Jim Bolis, your community appreciates you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Zazette. You are a rock star.
Thank you. And we're going to go to commercial. When we come back, I'm going to have a guest, Salem, and he's going to share his experience with us.
The staff and families at Yard House of Temecula takes this time out to recognize and salute the local men and women in uniform standing tall for our political and economic freedom around the world. Let's always remember them in our thoughts and prayers. Their efforts abroad and our support has kept America strong. This message courtesy of your good friends at Yard House of Temecula at 40770 Winchester Road in Temecula. They are always working to keep our community moving in a positive direction.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Dibbs, teacher running for school board here in Garden Grove Unified Trustee Area 1. We need quality vocational education. The district cut 10 intermediate school woodshop classes and 4 auto shop classes. We need these classes back so students can have a better future. No matter where you live across this country, please support this effort so we can have quality vocational education. go to nickdibs.org, nickdibs.org. Thank you.
I approve this announcement paid for by Dibs for School Board 2024.
For several years, KCAA has been marketing the Youngevity brand of nutritional and personal care products. Our experience with Youngevity has been 100% positive, so we are pleased to recommend them to you. Regarding nutritional supplements, we recommend Pollen Burst in the berry flavor and Tangy Tangerine 2.0 in the tablet form. For regularity issues, we recommend 3-Day Cleanse, and for personal care, we recommend Morning Hydration Cream. You can shop online for Youngevity at www.kcaateam.com, or you can order by phone by calling 800-982-3197 and tell customer support that you are part of the KCAA team. Youngevity is an American company based in San Diego. Call Youngevity at 800-982-3197 and ask about monthly auto ship that allows you to buy Youngevity products at wholesale prices. That number again, 800-982-3197.
KCAA.
Welcome back, San Bernardino. This is Shazad with Working in the Margins. And tonight's show is dedicated to, Stop the Hate Week. So I talked to Jim Bolus from our Family Assistance Stop the Hate program. It's kind of sad, I guess, when you need to have programs like this in order to get out the message of something that we know is wrong and seems so obviously wrong, but we have to put millions of dollars into educating the community on how it's wrong and who it affects. I guess the upside of it is that we can do that. We can educate and we can let folks know, why why hate crimes are bad, how they tear people apart and tear people down. But this program is, designed to lift the victims and the survivors up. And that's what we're going to work. That's what we're going to emphasize. That the Stop the Hate program here in California is to lift people up. My next guest is Salem. Salem, are you there on the radio?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Hi, how are you? We have not met. I had some friends do me a favor because I really wanted to bring this home for folks in our community. So I asked them to help me find someone to share their story about being a victim of violence. And this is not to dramatize. This is not that. This is so I want to give a safe space to Salem to share, and the ultimate goal is for this story, this sharing moment to help other folks out there that may be experiencing something that they may not have reported or that they didn't realize was a crime or that they were a victim of crime. So Salem, thank you so much for coming on and agreeing to come on and tell us your experience. So we're just going to dive in. Tell me about your experience and how it impacted you.
Of course. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me on. So where do I start? Well, I grew up in San Bernardino as like a trans man, and I was kind of out pretty early. And so that kind of just came with a lot of slurs, whenever I'd walk out on the street or anything. And then I was in foster care, so like that, like going into the system and having a lot of people that were like older than me, like with like the social workers, it was just the pronouns, nothing really kind of caught on to them. So just that all in general for me is kind of like my experience with like hate crimes, and like I can go in a little deeper with like a recent experience too,
as much as you are comfortable.
Yeah, of course. So I think it was about like 2 years ago, and this was at like a park like locally that like I grew up at.
Okay.
And I was with my partner who was a trans man at the time, and I was more femme presenting, and we were just at the park having a fun day, and we decided to film like a TikTok video just for his TikTok just to be cute. And then we walked back to the car after, and we walked past the skate park, and it was a group of like just dudes that were like my age, and they proceeded to yell, "Are you guys the same gender?" And then cursed a lot with the F slur. And then we got in the car and kind of felt bad after that. And that was just kind of an example of like how that's kind of affected me just in general, like with my life. It's like I can be having a good day or a good moment, and then someone decides to do something like that, and then it was kind of life-threatening because they were walking towards us and saying that, and we kind of had to get in the car and, of course, flip them off. So,
right.
But yeah, it's kind of just, and you would think too in California it's more accepting, which I mean it is, like compared to a lot of other places in like red states. But there are still a lot of places and people that really don't get it. Yes, and usually people that didn't grow up with any awareness or education kind of don't like what they can't understand. Right. And that's why educating things like this is like so important for like kids, so we can teach our next generations that cannot do this stuff. And
you young folks are leading us in ways that I don't even think I've ever imagined. And it's important because you guys are going to be taking over this world. I don't care who you are, what you look like, trans, what you're going to, every bit of you, every person, you're going to be taking over this world, this country, and you're going to represent us, the human race. I kind of believe in aliens, but if an alien comes down in 10 years, and this generation, I think it won't be so frightening because we are more accepting, but I think that's only because of these young kids right now, because I'm 57 and I'm still learning. I am still I know I have Southern families and old folks and, church folks, and, they don't, they're slower on the uptake as far as the pronouns and things like that. And it's not really out of disrespect. It's just out of not being knowledgeable, not being educated. So every chance I feel like I want to get, I want to bring you and people from your community or people with other lived experiences to the table, so that we can see that it's okay. It's okay for us to support Salem and Salem's life and Salem's choices. It's okay. It's not going to affect our life unless we're in this business to do social service, and then, we are trying to help, but it's just somebody walking down the street, why do you need to make comments? Why? How is that person affecting you? It's not, go about your business, but but I am glad we are here in California. I will say that, as opposed to some other states, red states, like you said, where it's just like, I was listening to a comedy show earlier today, and they were talking about if some other states had their way, that, being LGBTQ or any BIPOC, all those, and he said all those initials, he's like, it's going to get you 10 to 20. They're trying to make y'all go away. Y'all getting ready to take it in the face. And I said, man, that's not a lie, but why do we have to live like that? Why do we have to, Thank you. You tell me, did you have help, or what kind of support did you have when you were going through? Who did you seek out? Family, agencies, what kind of supports?
So just with anything like that, any incidents that had happened, it's really just the community. Like, honestly, like they get it, like it's like you can, and it's kind of easier because you can kind of make jokes with like like the community that understands, and like it's not really like, you can laugh about it and make fun of it, and it's like it's cool. Like they're my people. So, and chosen family is like really important, because if you're in like a situation like an LGBT, situation like that, and you don't really have supportive family, and it's just, chosen family is everything, and so your community is like
you make your own
everything.
family. You got to make your own family. I feel like I've made my own family for forever. I've always like taken people in, cousins like friends, family like friends, and sometimes you're closer to those people than you are your own blood. And like you say, you were in foster care, so you're always, you are looking for community, and you're looking for, every human only wants to belong. That's it.
Yeah.
We just want to belong, so I want you to tell me, Salem, what you want. If you had a bullhorn the size of a Mack truck, and they said, Salem, you get to say whatever you want to let us know how you want us to see you or how you want us to think about you. Tell me, you got 2 minutes, go.
Ooh, okay. Like me specifically?
A person? No, not a victim. Person. You are a human being, sir.
Oh, okay. That I am here, I am queer, and I am going to persevere, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
I love it. Say that again. Say it loud. More with your chest. Say it with your chest. Say it again.
I am here, I am queer, and I am going to persevere.
Awesome. I love it. You are, and we're going to be right there with you to help you. I'm glad that you are part of our family assistance program family. We don't have clients. I think we have family. So I love that. And I hope that you being able to share, I know it. I don't hope. I know it. You being able to help share your experiences today is going to help somebody else survive. I know it. Blessings to you, Salem. And I look forward to meeting you in person soon, sir. Thank you. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming on.
Of course.
Thank you. We're going to go to commercial, and when I come back, we are going to talk resources. Resources. Yay.
And certified technicians and friendly staff are the best in the business and treat each car as if it was their own. All Magic Paint and Body Collision Centers are family-owned and offer state-of-the-art equipment and tools to ensure optimum results. They use the latest technology in computerized color matching and specialize in frame repairs. With their modern laser measuring systems, they're OEM certified, and they have 4 locations to serve you. All Magic Paint and Body Collision Centers offer rental car assistance with free drop-off and pickup services too, and their work has a lifetime guarantee. All Magic Paint and Body Collision Centers are in Norco, Eastvale, Moreno Valley, and in Fontana. Call them at 1-800-61-MAGIC. That's 1-800-61-MAGIC. All Magic Paint and Body Collision Centers. 1-800-61-MAGIC. All Magic Paint and Auto Body says, drive carefully.
KCAA.
Welcome back, San Bernardino. This is Shazette with Working in the Margins and Family Assistance Program. I want to give out some information with the last bit of my time tonight. First, I want to thank my guest. I really, when people agree to come on and talk to me, I consider it an honor because sometimes folks have, they're exposing themselves or they're, and to trust me with that and to create a safe space, I really appreciate it. I want to give out first, because this is our show dedicated to Stop the Hate in California. The California versus Hate phone number is 833-866-4283. And the Stop the Hate website is familyassist.org/stop-hate. familyassist.org/stop-hate. And again, that California versus Hate number is 833-866-4283. Some resources. So let me tell you about some events that we have coming up. the Family Assistance Program has their annual DV walk, and that's in the high desert, and that's coming up soon. Hold on. I need to go to that flyer. I'm gonna come back to that. Because I need to find the flyer. Sorry, folks. Oh no, here it is. Okay, so it's a Walk a Mile in Their Shoes and car show. It's a tribute to lives lost to domestic violence. It's on September 28th at 10 a.m. and it's at the SBC Fairgrounds. And that's 14800 7th Street in Victorville. It's a car show. I think you have to, it's like $25 for the car show if you got a nice groovy car you want to bring. But it's a walk to honor those that we have lost to domestic violence, lives that we have lost to domestic violence. We also have our gala that's coming up in a month, and I had that one too. Hold on, I got a new iPad, y'all, and it shifted some of my flyers and stuff around, but it's okay. I'm going to persevere. I am. But I want to make sure I get that information because we need your support for our gala. All the money that we raise for our gala goes right back into our programs. We are always stretching dollars, trying to collaborate with folks and bring services. And sometimes we need help. And it's on November 2nd, and it's a celebration of families, and it's called Dia de los Muertos. That's Day of the Dead, and because it's right after, I think Day of the Dead is November 1st, so it's on the 2nd. So we're going to honor families. And if you want more information for about that, please give me a call, 909-908-8053. And I will get you more information about our gala. Let me go back. So, and I want to mention about the San Bernardino Anti-Hate Forum. That's this Saturday at SBVC from 1:30 to 4. Let's go right here. Okay. Here we go. If you're looking for, I had a few phone calls from last week from some folks, and they said, "Can you tell me where to go to get like utility bills paid, and things like that?" And I always give out like Community Action Partnership. Now, my caveat is I don't know anybody's finances or what they have, okay? I go to the websites and I find out what they offer and then I bring it to you. But you're going to have to do the legwork because I really don't have any direct connections. I mean, I know folks, but I don't have direct connection to make it happen for you just talking to me. So, but I always give folks, the good resources. So community, if you need bill assistance and things like that, I would talk to the folks at Community Action Partnership. They have a website. It's capsbc.org. So I would go on their website to see what their criteria is. Arrowhead United Way is here in San Bernardino on D Street. They have a phone number. I'm going to give you that phone number, 909-884-9441. And then they have a request form on their website, assistance request form. And it's at arrowheadunitedway.org. arrowheadunitedway.org. And there's an assistance request form. If you have kids in the San Bernardino City Unified School District, they have some support. It's their website is sbcusd.com. sbcusd.com. Go onto their website and see if they have what they have as far as assistance for financial assistance or utilities. There are some folks that have put out on some websites that they were looking for clothing and things like that because they have been affected by the fires. So we have a few, there's Angels Closet Charities in Mentone, 909-794-7967. There's CityLink Thrift Store in Fontana. They have wateroflifecc.org thrift shop. That's their website, wateroflifecc.org/thrift shop. If you are looking for clothes, if you need food or anything, also Community Action Partnership on their website, they have food distribution links where you can find out. They have USD food distributions almost every day here in the county. And you can find connections to that on their website. Again, that's capsbc.org. Mercy Center, Mary's Table, that's in San Bernardino, 909-889-2558. If you are looking for health care services, St. John's here in San Bernardino on Waterman, I would hit them up. They are doing some great things with our homeless populations and people that are under care. They don't have as much, they're not getting the services that they need for the medical care. So St. John's, there's Community Health Systems in Bloomington. Their website is chsica.org. That's Community Health Systems. I didn't have a lot of housing resources because housing is expensive and it's really not affordable. But there are some. There are a few, like the Blessing Center in Redlands. They may be able to help. That's the Blessing Center, and it's in Redlands, and their phone number is 909-793-5677. The Blessing Center. I know there's a shelter for men at Central City Lutheran Mission. It's also here in San Bernardino on G Street. That's a men's shelter, 909-381-6921. And as always, I'm going to always try to give you the phone numbers to the agencies. If you need transportation and you are a Medi-Cal client, if you have IEHP, they have free transportation to be able to get you back and forth to the doctor's appointments and things like that, or to their community rec centers that they have around the county. And then their DHCS has free transport for Medi-Cal clients too. So I want to make sure that you know about some of these free transportations too. I think that's it for this week. I mean, I have more, but I think that's a lot of resources right now. And here's something fun. So I have a couple of minutes. Here's something fun. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, I'm a hockey head, and I'm a season ticket holder with the Ontario Reign, and I also am a billet mom for the Ontario Junior Reign. The Ontario Junior Reign, they're the junior hockey team under the Ontario Reign. Their season opener is this Saturday, the 21st at 8:30 p.m. I know it's 8:30 and it's kind of late, but I guarantee you it'll be worth staying up. It's so exciting, and it's their opener, and this team is amazing, and they're ready to go. They're ready to go and get the season started. So, again, that's this weekend, this Saturday. Next week, my guest is going to be Daryl Morris from Lighthouse Social Services. He is the Higher Employment Services Program Manager, and we're going to talk about the services that they provide at Lighthouse Social Services. That's going to be my partner spotlight next week. And last but not least, my quote for this week is, "Darkness cannot drive darkness out. Light can only do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." And that's from Martin Luther King. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Please keep listening to KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5, the stations that leave no listener behind.